Welcome to the Retro Ranger Wrap-Up. Look at this space bar that's around us. That's not a normal thing. Welcome to the Retro Ranger Wrap-Up. This is going to be our final episode of Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. Actually wrapping up... Actually, thank God, right? Actually wrapping up Mighty Morphin kind of in general, even though we still get little nods to it back in Zeo. But Thanksgiving has just passed. We just went over some great Thanksgiving stories that we all shared. Unfortunately, not all together. Some of us were together. Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. Not very different from your Thanksgiving. That is for certain.
You were invited to the Thanksgiving we were at.
I was. And I'm really glad I didn't go.
Oh, no. I am so glad. I am so upset that you did not go. It would have been fantastic.
I am so thankful that I did not go to that.
Oh, don't worry. You're going to go sometime.
I feel like I'm not going to accept any treats from any of y'all from now until the end of days.
Well, listen, I wouldn't. And this was the funny thing about that whole thing was that it was him pushing it on everybody. Yep. Me, and
you had the worst experience, so I feel like karma.
The worst experience, so it was karma.
Me and Tatiana were the only ones on the first night not to accept. Then we got here for work yesterday, and then me, Jezer, and Daniel Nagami were down for the count. Yeah. So we all had a good Thanksgiving. Ro disappeared off somewhere. We ended up singing really bad karaoke. Daniel wouldn't remember that because he was in the bathroom the whole night.
No, were you awake? I heard some songs, but I was asleep. Sleep in the bathroom.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
No,
like this. You go,
occupied. Not gonna vote.
It sounded like Batman from Christian Bale. Like,
occupied.
And then also, you see all these dudes coming out of the women's bathroom because Daniel locked it down for an hour and a half.
I did.
Oh, it was bad. But on to our final Zeo quest. We're finally here. We've arrived at the end of this arc, this crescendo, this story arc that is Alien Rangers. It's all wrapped up nice and tightly in a bow. And we get adult Rangers again. But before we get into that, we have a few things to talk to you about. If you want to go check out our latest Power Ranger articles, you can do that at THSPowerRangers.com. That is THSPowerRangers.com. We have the latest and greatest in all Power Ranger articles. If you looked earlier, we had a lot of the toy leaks that are coming out. The Green Psycho Ranger origin, the whole story on that, as well as some Tokusatsu stuff. So it's all there. And secondly, I'd like to talk about TeePublic.
Yes.
Right, there you go. There's our Doctor Strange. You got a Doctor Strange one. That's not from the TeePublic store. That's from like our batch, though, right?
Yeah. It's on our batch.
All right.
But you can get it on
those are on TeePublic. You can get any one of those. They make great stocking stuffers for the holidays. Currently, right now, TeePublic is on Black Friday sale, even though it's not Friday. They're continuing it out for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
And just Cyber Monday. And just yesterday, we released our new shirt. Yes. Exclusively for you guys at TeePublic and here at the Hashtag Show.
So good.
Continuing
man, this is the first time I've actually seen it.
Continuing our Power Ranger movie mashup shirts. This is the Avengers Infinity War Shattered Grid shirt. Yes. And every single character that's in that shirt, that's pictured in that shirt, actually has a role in the comic Shattered Grid. We didn't just randomly choose them. This was with rhyme and reason.
And essentially where their place is their analog to the
correct.
Kind of,
Oh, that's a lot of thought into there.
That's a lot of
and I like, I think my favorite part of that is instead of the Marvel Studios logo, it says Hashtag Show.
Oh my God, that is such a good shirt.
Right?
I think that might be my new favorite.
Oh, dude.
I think that
I literally just ordered one.
That beats Star Wars.
Jezza and I rushed on air.
Oh my God, that looks amazing.
So if you want to get that shirt, it is currently in our TeePublic store right now. I suggest getting it right now because you can get it on sale for $14 for this Black Friday, for the next 2 days, Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, and for the next 2 days it'll be on sale there. So check that out. And again, we're going to be having a lot of new shirts coming out as time goes on for the next coming year, I guess. Oh, get ready for the Star Wars Fanatics one that's going to debut very soon. That's one that I'm looking forward to. What? Also in our movie parody theme. But that's the Shattered Grid Marvel Studios Avengers Infinity War shirt.
So good.
Yeah, all right, so let's talk about this for a second. Now, Elle, I'm going to start with you for a second. Now, Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, before we got into the season, what was going on in your head? Because now we're out of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, we get to Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. What did you think was going to happen with the shift in series?
Well, I don't know. From where it started originally, I thought it was going to be way darker, more adults, and especially with Rita and Zed being huge and they're dominating Earth, and then it went in completely the wrong direction. But at the end of this, I feel like we were in a good spot. I felt emotions, and I was like, that we'll get into. But I don't know. I feel like we're back on the right track finally after these 10 episodes. I am hyped for Zeo.
Daniel, talk to me about how the Super Chat works.
All right, well, Super Chat is a great tool. What happens with Super Chat is that you guys already see the chat goes really fast. So fast that sometimes we're not going to be able to see it. But you can slow it down just with using Super Chat. It will highlight your chat, we'll be able to pay attention, and we'll read it on air. So you get the shine.
So let's talk about Hogday Afternoon Part 1 and 2 before we get into Zeo. We're going to give our thoughts and our comments. We're going to ask for your thoughts and your comments as well, and use that Super Chat feature like Daniel said. All right, so let's get into this. Let's dig right in since we're going to start off now. We're on the final Zeo quest.
Yes.
This is young Aisha, who
and gets a two-parter.
And arguably, probably one of the better child actors that they got.
Definitely.
Yes.
So let's walk me through Aisha's journey in Africa.
Also, did she have to go to Africa? Is all of these things
everyone-
slightly racist, or is
everyone
it okay?
No,
I don't know.
everyone-
Well, I like how Adams was in Japan and he's not Japanese whatsoever. So
Yeah, and then, you had Rocky in Mexico, and then you had...
Did they give Rocky Mexico so they're just like, we want cool countries for all of our Rangers, and we're just like, that guy in Mexico is the closest one.
Where was Tommy?
in America,
Like where?
Native American.
He's Native American.
But like where?
You'd have to
I
assume in like
wonder.
Arizona or Oklahoma or
Right,
something.
right, something like that.
Maybe California. Who knows? Wherever reservations are now.
Okay,
Oklahoma
okay.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay. In those rustic areas.
Standing
that's what I
Rock.
was thinking, yeah, something like
But yeah, we're in Africa. We're meeting young Tanya here for the first time. Now, I have to ask you this because you had no idea this was probably going to
Yeah,
happen.
I didn't.
Oh,
I was
boy.
super shocked. But also, I was shocked that she was
that.
like,
Look at her face. She had no idea either.
hey, Auntie, what's up? I'm like, what? You guys already know each other? Or is this the past? This is the present? But your mom talked about, so that's the sibling? What?
It gets very confusing. Timey-wimey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I was watching this and I lost time by eating a brownie.
Just
Well,
like
see,
that. With
okay, I
less
was
throwing
trying,
up.
I was trying to write it down and break it down to myself, and I was getting lost in it. But it's like, I get that it wasn't time travel, but what it was a spell that regressed time. So I get that the people stayed still, time kind of changed. But
Wait.
with
Say that one more time.
See, okay, so it wasn't a time travel spell, but yet it regressed time. So yet it still did pull time back. If it did that,
Oh, I
it
also
also
have a
pulled the people back.
Hashtag show shirt on too. I forgot.
There
Oh,
you go.
yeah.
It pulled the people back and everything like that, but it's like, wait, so, like, at the moment when Billy was a kid, and then Billy turned into an adult, what happened to Billy's parents at that moment? And were they ever
Billy's
like,
parents
where's
were
my
always-
child?
They were gone from the beginning. Like, he still had his lab.
Well, I mean,
but
it's kind
no
of like,
parents.
remember in
wondered
Back
about
to the
that.
Future when Marty McFly goes back and meets like George McFly? I don't know who he is.
No, but Billy was, when we first started the whole thing, Billy was one of the kids also that got turned back, like young. Billy then figured out how to be able to turn himself older.
But
Sure.
the
he's
world is
in that-
still
the world is still there.
old,
So
yeah.
where are his parents that he did go to originally? Like,
They all don't
just
have parents.
5 minutes ago before he turned into a human.
Wait,
Before he turned
when
into
you
an
start
adult.
thinking about it too much,
It does.
Your brain
it
explodes.
does.
It doesn't make any
It
sense.
does, because I had so many other questions.
I
about
told you that the
Aisha's
whole time thing doesn't work.
And that
It
didn't blow your
doesn't.
mind with Cat, where it's like parallel dimensions. I'm like, what?
The cat one is
what?
the most confusing episode.
By far, and
But-
they don't even touch on it even a little bit, being like, "This is weird."
Like I said,
you got the crystal.
I find
congrats.
this even stranger that they go back in time, and they obviously know each other, but they still reference that they know the past Power Rangers. But like,
Yes.
technically, there were no.
You
past
guys
Power
aren't even
Rangers.
supposed to be here. I don't understand how that's working out.
Anyway, let's go back to the Aisha Zeo quest. Now, what did you remember any of this?
I just remembered that she was not coming back, and she was sending Tanya. I just remembered that, and I was like, this is the moment I'm looking forward to. Just, this is the moment I remember. That's what I want to say.
And you had no idea Aisha was not coming back.
I had no idea, and I feel a little sad that she had a transition as a child, and we never got to see.
So does Karen Ashley.
Oh, really?
Hey, no.
Okay.
So what I heard was
I was
that
wondering if there's some kind of dispute or something. I was like, wait, she didn't
She
even
was
get a
supposed
talking
to-
goodbye?
She was supposed. Oh, we got a super chat already. Super Mega Red. He says, "How did the parents accept the Rangers leaving?" Great question.
Good question.
That question is just as good as any.
yeah.
A lot of questions.
A lot of questions here.
but
But
you were gonna say it because I was just gonna say.
I was gonna say so. Karen Ashley actually thought that she was gonna have a bigger send off than she actually
Instead
had.
of just being a image in the viewing globe?
Well,
like
I'll say it
that.
this way. Kimberly got 9 episodes to say goodbye.
I should have,
Karen
like,
Ashley got a
No.
carnival episode, and then she was gone. That's exactly what
She
happened.
didn't get like any
No,
episode.
she
got
had
an image
she had
in
a
the viewing-
carnival episode before they turned into kids, and that was it.
But we
And it
didn't even
wasn't
know
about her.
there was no setup.
Exactly.
She got 0 episodes before she
nothing.
left.
Nothing. It
But-
was like bye.
Okay, let me ask you a question then. On the flip side of that,
Uh huh.
name me 5 iconic Kimberly moments. Tanya?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, well, of course, her leaving. Besides that, nope.
I don't know.
Kimberly?
Switch bodies
I
with
know
Billy.
there are. But
There's way more.
I just don't know immediately.
All right, so there was that, her leaving. You can name a ton of them. Her kissing Tommy.
Oh, okay. Her kissing Tommy, the Jerome letter. Well, that
flying with Uncle Steve. Well, there's a ton of. Name me at least 3 Aisha ones.
She was a
they don't
veterinarian.
exist.
She was a veterinarian, and I found that out actually on this episode, and I barely remember.
Well, she worked at a veterinary clinic.
Yeah, that's how we got Cat.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that I loved Harold Ashley as a person, but as a character, it was so weak. Aisha was so weak.
They didn't give
It's
her
the writers
anything.
and-
Yeah, and the thing is, it was like finally by season 3, this is the time when they were like, "Yo, we're gonna start writing and blah blah." But unfortunately, you're on your way out at the same time. So here, let's build you up, but you're going. So let's not worry about it too much.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks when they finally figured out, well, our audience is growing. We're gonna grow too. It was too late.
Okay, so last week also we get the Zeo quest. She finally gets the crystal. We see her with animals, and I feel like even as she's going out, we still learn new things about Aisha because we do find out she's a veterinarian. She likes taking care of animals. We kind of knew that.
We kinda
though
knew.
with
She was at
with
a
the
clinic
cat.
or
Yeah.
whatever. She used to
We
work.
forgot.
But I do have a question for you. So last week you said that when Goldar and Rita were planning the bomb, we actually get a payoff.
Okay, but also the payoff is bizarre. Why are there signs being like command center this
That's
way,
true.
and why are they in a cave?
Because Rocky can't read.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, also because
I'll allow it.
the thing is, we saw the command center in different kind of states of repair. Like when they went to the Wild West, we saw the command center sitting not really built, kind of just starting off.
And is this the
blah, blah,
lower
blah.
level
So
where
some of the things.
Zordon made Tommy the White Ranger?
See,
Yeah,
I don't know,
underground
but
thing?
is that
So, I
Alpha
think
4?
so.
Is that the predecessor?
That is
Yeah.
Alpha 4, yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So
Crazy.
there was so many
They
things.
didn't do any physical upgrades, like an iPhone, and it's just
Hey
same
guys,
thing,
another super
but-
chat. They want us to do an audio commentary on the 2017 movie, please.
I would love to do that. Thanks, sir.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. We have that planned out. We're gonna do something special for that and the original movie. And we on the original movie, we're actually gonna have some special guests that were in that movie to come on with us for it. But we do have that planned. Thank you so much, Cyril Moore, for that super chat. We really appreciate it.
My
Go ahead.
thing with the bomb, the implosion bomb, they're running around looking for that area so they could plant the bomb. Now, earlier, Rita said how she couldn't go there because
and she
the disruption
disappears.
the disruption of evil and blah blah.
In
I
the
can't
command
get there.
center.
She just pops up and said, "Well, she needed Finster to find them," but then she just pops up and says, "Hurry up and get it done," and then disappears. But it was like, wait, I thought you said you couldn't show up there.
But also, they're able to see Goldar and Rito from their own little viewing globe thing, and it's just they're
like,
there.
dude, so why
Can't you
couldn't
teleport there?
Why couldn't you just done this a whole long time ago and be like blip blip blip? All right, boom.
But
I don't
also
know.
the fact that why are they looking for the command center? Why don't they just teleport there in the first place and blow up Zordon what happened anyway? Just poof.
What about the Hydro Hog? You guys got comments on the Hydro Hog?
I do. He was way less intimidating than I had anticipated for the for a big bad on Aquatarian. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Planet.
He did have hands in part 2. But still in part 1, nothing really was that
He's
menacing.
like a conehead deformed fish monster. How did they get Hog? Why is he pig? Why can't he be
looks like Babu.
like a hydro piranha or something more menacing?
Something.
Or water related.
I don't know what his thing was. He had Navy written on one side and something on the other.
Because that's water, and then he throws some little mines.
Jacks? Were they mines or jacks? I didn't know what they were. I was sitting there questioning the entire time.
And why?
I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't getting into it. And I think even then as a kid, I think that's how it felt. And then now I feel the same exact way.
He was the least menacing. And then even, are we talking about both the episodes combined?
Sure,
guessing?
we may as well.
Yes.
But okay, so they're at the pool. They're like, hey, the lake's straight up. Let's teleport them to the
We're gonna
pool.
have the super chat.
All right.
Elle,
What's up?
who know who will be Zeo Rangers now? Do you know who the Zeo Rangers
Do you know who they
now?
are now?
Well, I know Tanya's one of them.
Well, you're gonna find
Point.
out next week. You're
Point.
gonna find out more next week.
Well, I mean, I really thought Aisha would be a Zeo Ranger. Lo and behold, I was wrong.
So wait, you don't know who's who though, right? If you had to guess, who do you think it is?
Well,
and
Tommy is-
who's what color? Is what I'm
Tommy is
saying.
red. I don't even know what the color are. The same basic 5 colors.
Except instead of black, there's green.
Okay, so then Tommy's a Red Ranger,
Okay.
Okay.
and I already forgot all the other episodes because I wasn't paying too close attention.
Okay. All right.
Great.
Tanya's
Take
a
guess?
Yellow Ranger.
All right.
Okay.
And
Cat would probably be pink.
pink. She has to be pink.
And the other two guys, because
So you got
there's
Adam and
2
Rob.
colors and 3 guys.
Oh. Well, one's the Black Ranger.
Nope, there's no black. There's
Oh,
green.
the black is
Oh
green.
yeah, you just said that. I have a memory of a gerbil. I don't know.
Well, you're gonna find out next week.
We will all find out together. Thanks for
it's
that
gonna be
really
entertaining.
hard question. I failed.
Now, talk to me more about this hydro hog.
Why didn't he finish them off in the pool?
There you go.
They
I was-
were
okay.
like,
That's what she said.
help me. And then he was like, I will disappear now when you're at your weakest points so you can recharge.
Well, yeah, of course. He
Oh,
has
yeah,
to
that's a
let them-
spoiler. She doesn't know. He spoiled the episode.
What was that, Rocky?
Jeez.
You
Was
just-
that Rocky? Is
you
Rocky
just missed
blue?
it all.
He looks
You
so...
just missed it all. It's gonna be great though when you see it. It's gonna be
Was
great
that
when you see
him?
it.
I can't tell
I don't
without
know.
his childlike mullet because that's how I see him now. I see
Childlike
him.
mullet.
If that mullet's missing, I don't know who it is.
So let's continue back on this episode. So we finally know who's what, but we also know that the Hydro Hog had to be defeated. Do you think the Alien Rangers even served a purpose, essentially? Like, it was really, what were
They
they there
became
for?
really annoying towards the end. I liked them in the beginning, and I liked that idea, but we're like, recharge. I'm so dry.
10 episodes is a lot to get
It's a
through with
lot.
them.
That was the
It
thing.
is.
That's what I wrote. I was thinking about that whole thing. Like, I wanted more depth with the characters as far as development with the Alien Rangers. If we're going to get them, at least let us know who they are. How they became Rangers, what was their big thing. Like, all of that, I would love to know, and I still will never know. Hopefully, they'll be able to expand on it in the comic, because we're not going to get it here. But introducing them was like, oh, hey, new mythos, expanding what Power Rangers was. That was good. That's the one thing that they did do that was good. Everything else, garbage. Forget about it.
Yeah. Would you have peed on the Alien Rangers had they
If they needed your help.
needed your
If
help?
they
question.
needed that hydration,
They were in a
because-
pool.
I
They
mean,
need something. They need
That
sterile,
Hydro Hog
they
was
need it sterile.
getting all the water.
okay, so
He's
the
not
thing
gonna
is,
get it all.
I think we would all pee on them. Would you choose one, or would you just sprinkle it on all of them? Would you try to just recharge one ranger
Or
fully?
just pee on Delphine.
Okay.
the white
No! Stop it, R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Wow, Delphine.
She's a leader. She's the most
Congratulations,
important.
Delphine.
Is she
At
the
least you
most
know who's here to save you.
She's the most important.
She
She's a
is the
leader.
mother. He is right.
We're gonna pee on the red one. What's the red one's name? You don't even
I don't
know. That's my point.
All I knew is that I paid attention to the blue one and the white one. After that, everybody else I didn't care for. Look at Delphine. She's like, she is here to win. She's here for the goal.
I don't get
That's
those
what she's
like
wanting.
that
Those
special
heads.
effects.
Why do they have to have them to be aliens?
And why do you have to have hair? They didn't even need hair.
How
Just
would
put
you
the
have done it on a
color
budget?
I just.
I
thought
wouldn't
they
have
would've
made
said
Hey,
them
aliens,
what's your
but they look
idea?
like-
Oh, you don't have one?
I was gonna
Great,
say,
cool.
well,
Let's
if
go
you-
with nothing.
Yeah, I didn't say nothing, but you did.
What would you say? What would you do?
Have them show up and just act differently. They don't have to go ahead and look like that. To
But
be
for a
aliens.
kid, that
How
would.
would you
that
know they're
would exactly.
aliens?
Oh, you got a point. You got a point. I mean, I guess that weird sound that they had when they spoke when they were underwater and also out of underwater didn't help. They needed more, and that's where those heads came in. Yes.
I
Okay,
feel like I
fine.
pull a Rick Sanchez and just put little like bubbly things on your head.
That's
You're
it.
like,
yeah,
I'm
you're
an
like,
alien.
look, I'm an alien too. There you go. Enjoy yourselves. It would have made sense, but still, they would have been upset.
Oh, we got buffering issues.
Oh no.
No, we're better. We're
Also,
fine.
I got a question about
Yeah.
Ninja.
What about him?
Okay,
He's
they said
gone,
he's gone.
Daniel. He's
No,
gone.
damn it, you
Let
no,
Ninja go.
No,
Let
no,
him go.
No, that he deserves. He deserves a send off.
All right, you go ahead. You speak your piece about Ninja.
So Ninja was like, okay, gone. They said they couldn't find him, right?
Yeah.
Because they were like, yeah, we haven't found him yet in this time. But how were they able to still use the Shogun Zords, which he was the one that brought them over to them, if they haven't found him yet?
I don't think he was their
They're bots.
bots or whatever they're called.
Boards.
No, not the Borgs, but they used the Shogun Zords.
Well,
And the Shogun Zords weren't there until he's the one that brought them.
well, maybe Billy tapped into all of them, made them all drones, so they can all do their own.
I don't know. I was just wondering, like,
Also,
I was
Falcon Zord ruled in these episodes. Could have took down everything. on
Falcon
its
Zord,
own.
I feel like, was one of the coolest Zords that doesn't get enough screen time now.
But
Yeah.
this one, it was like
Yeah.
pew pew pew. I take down this Hydro Hog,
I like
whatever
the
it
Falcon
is.
Zord.
It
Speaking
is
of
cool.
something
It was the
that-
best out of all the Zords.
Speaking of something that didn't get enough screen time, but definitely got a lot during these 10 episodes, is Billy. Congratulations, Billy, on being
no, I feel like Billy got a lot.
being the leader. You said that we would see a different Billy in this, and it's like, wow, this is exactly what we're seeing.
We're seeing the
I
new
love it,
stages of
man.
a new character, and I think that's where this obviously leads to. Now that we know that he's an accomplished leader, Billy can handle that, and also be
Definitely.
the man in the chair, as many would like to call it in the comic book world.
Yeah.
Now, we are starting to come to a close finally with this whole season, really.
Good.
What's your like lasting thoughts of the Alien Rangers and this whole like 10-episode run?
It's a lot of kids for a long amount of time.
A lot of kids.
It wasn't my favorite, but the way it started and the way it ended makes me actually kind of like it. If we could just change everything out in the middle, it would have been perfect.
If we could change everything that made it happen.
But the very ending, I was like, whoa, this got dark. Like, they succeeded. They succeeded in their mission despite all kinds of bumbling and making.
So I have to ask
sense.
you, what did you think about the command center blowing up?
I was actually pretty distraught. Like, this was as bad as like the Megazord falling apart.
Right? It didn't
like,
have that. Didn't have that feel to it.
I was
pretty
shooketh.
tragic.
Yeah.
Shooketh?
Yeah. Shooketh.
Is that
That's
Shakespearean?
what I was shooketh. Oh, it's Shakespearean. I was
right.
shooketh. I mean, dude, it was a changing of the status quo for everything that we know when it comes to Power Rangers. We had destruction of Zords. We had a Zord that got beat up and fell over. We had a new bad guy that showed up for a second, still gave him the hands, beat him, was done. I mean, we had so many. He caught the flaming sword, guys. He caught the flaming sword. You're not going to win this time with this.
I thought it was going to be another quick battle, and it wasn't. I was already applauding. I was like, yes, there was some tension.
Dude,
I like this suspense.
Everything. It was good. It was a change of the status quo.
It was amazing.
And I enjoyed that. And even my kid self was like, oh.
If you were thinking that you had to get stuck with the Alien Rangers for a whole season, though, would you have been out of the show completely? Or did you know that was kind of more of a transitional period, that we were going to get something else like later?
Was it advertised that it would only be a 10-episode?
I don't think so.
Because if I thought it was an entire season, I would probably watch the first and second one. And like when that came out around my age range, I probably would have been like, I gotta pass. This is a hard pass.
Let's talk about when we finally get the adults back.
Oh, boy.
The teenagers back.
I like that.
Adam has a new haircut.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Tanya is wearing her African garb, which goes away very quickly actually in these next episodes. But everybody else is kind of there. It's a little bit refreshing to see them as grown-ups again, right?
It is. I mean, Billy's been there, but also when the command center was blowing up, well, I thought he was going to try to stop Alpha and be like, no, Alpha, don't do it. And he just jumped into, like, some wall. I was like, Billy.
He cares so much about technology. He's trying to save it.
Console.
Yeah, but I was just like, what were you trying to accomplish? Like, were you not
He didn't want it to blow up.
Exactly. It was the whole thing of, once again, I feel that there was an underlying theme throughout a lot of Power Rangers as we started to get up to this point, where it was the whole thing of mysticism and magic versus technology, and how they kept warring. In one way, it was like every bit of technology that Billy would make would fail versus every bit of magic.
That is a really good point.
Did you also see the relief on Billy's face when he finally realized that his adult friends were back?
Yes, because dude, that has to be weird to be like, you're the grown-up walking around all these kids and they're like, hey, who's that guy always hanging out with the kids?
But he had to be the chachaperone to the water park, and he was like, this isn't weird. These are my friends. My real friends. Please don't call the cops.
They're like, oh, your friends, huh? 9-1.
I think you're just waiting for that thing to go just so you can
You could easily tell that there was a sigh of relief of like, thank God.
Yeah.
But also, almost a sigh of relief on the Rangers that came back, thinking like, oh, we just had a vacation for however long.
Nice, and
Billy didn't.
They all have tans, and Billy's still really pasty. Yeah. It's just,
Question I gotta ask though, for Zed, was Zed better with or without Rita?
He's better with Rita.
Without.
Without, you think so?
Yeah, he's more menacing.
Okay.
He's such a goof.
I love him so much more.
What did he accomplish without?
Remember when he used to be scary?
He was scary, but like he blew up the command center. He like got all the powers from the Power Rangers. Like they work good as a team. And look, they made a monster that they didn't even create grow. They took it from another alien planet, didn't even make it, and they still made him grow. It shows that their powers are stronger combined.
See, I have a list of things that I was thinking of what he achieved with versus without. Without, he got rid of the Green Ranger, guys.
Even though
he was with her, he did it pretty much. It was his plan. He got rid of the Green Ranger, something that she couldn't do. But with her, he destroyed the original Zords and powers, destroyed the new powers.
He did that without her.
Power coins.
No,
the original Zords.
He did the original Zords without her.
In the first episode.
That was his first one. Oh yeah, he was already really, really good.
So with her, he destroys the new powers and the power coins, entered the command center, almost killed Kimberly at that moment, blew up the command center, and took Ninjor prisoner. So these
Well,
are
Ninja
all
is not a
feats.
non-factor.
Yeah. No.
I mean, anyone could take
Once
Ninja.
again,
or-
Anybody
Nobody
can
even
take
wants
Ninja.
it.
Hey, whoa,
The Power
whoa,
Rangers are like, thank goodness
well, I don't
Ninja's
wanna-
gone.
They set Ninja up for that one.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
No one
Ninja's
wanted to look
amazing.
for him except for
No.
Tommy.
They
Ninja's amazing. How dare you?
they set him up. They set him up
That's
for
it.
that.
Don't
It was
insult
done.
him. Don't insult
We finally are at the end of this arc,
Yes.
per se. How refreshing is it that you know that next week you're finally going to get a whole new season of more better storytelling, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, you've been hyping it up, saying Zeo is pretty good, and
pretty
I
good.
can see like at the end of this episode,
Pretty freaking good.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped. Command Center, like the Power Rangers are at a loss. They don't know what to do, but they
Yeah.
are back to their teenage forms with attitude. They're ready to kick some butt.
I think
Keep
they're
saying
also
this.
in their
Keep
senior
saying
year
this.
of high school
Yeah.
as well, I think, or maybe junior year of high school. I don't
I
know at
can't
this
keep
point
it up.
anymore. That's
Nice.
she said.
Bravo.
So I'm excited that we're finally on that too. Now, as we all know, that there's always notes and errors in all these episodes. Let's go with the notes first. This is the first appearance of Tanya Sloan. Thoughts on Tanya so far? You've only seen her as a kid.
I mean, I like her. She's willing to leave her entire family in like 5 minutes to be like, I'm gonna be Power Ranger, save the Earth. And I was like, yeah, you go.
Would you not agree and say yes if you just saw a floating head in the desert? He just shows up and says, "Hello, yes, you
But
are."
she was
a
already
Ranger."
convinced before. We're like, Aisha's like, hey, I gotta help the animals. You go save the
that's
Earth.
right, that's
you know,
right.
like
This
I
is-
gotta stay here to help the animals.
right.
I'm
Also,
not
the
Fix the plague.
first appearance of the original Command Center interior. This is the final appearance of the Rangers as well as Bulk Skull's children. Don't see that again.
Oh,
Good.
thank God.
Good.
Think they learned their lessons. Final appearance of the Shogun Zord and the Falcon Zord until Dimensions in Danger, which happened.
Yeah.
recently.
Back, those are like
Well,
the
Shogun
weakest.
Zords on this.
Oh, okay, I was
Falcon
like,
Zord is.
those are like the weakest out of the Zords so
The
far.
episode also features the only time the Shogun Mega's Falcon Zord destroyed a monster.
No.
Oh.
It's because like the Falcon came out with guns blazing in
It
this
did.
one.
It was just like, strap yourself. And it just went
The
off.
Zord battle used in this episode was the first appearance of Tsubasamara, is known in Power Ranger storyline as the Falcon Zord and Kaku Ranger, which is the episode 23 Blitzkrieg, the Strange White Bird.
Interesting.
This is also
That's a long
it's,
name.
it's a final appearance of Aisha as a regular, although she would be mentioned in Zeo, Zeo's Lord Auric, and then her next appearance wouldn't happen again until 21 years later
Wow.
in Hyperforce.
Dang.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Also, the final episode of the Alien Rangers arc, it's done, as well as the Mighty Morphin era of Power Rangers is also done. This story is continued in a Zeo beginning. Aisha's sub-crystal glowed yellow after Tanya was given her crystal by Aisha, foreshadowing her becoming the Yellow Ranger.
Makes sense.
Also, the Alien Rangers will later return to Power Ranger Zeo for our big first Power Ranger team-up of two teams called Ranger of Two Worlds. This is the first time we start getting seasons teaming up with different seasons.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
Movie footage.
While Orico would reappear in Forever Red in full costume in the Alien Red Ranger. Orico, the Red Ranger, is going to appear later in Forever Red. This is the last episode to feature Karen Ashley in the openings. So obviously you know that she's leaving. It's also the last episode to use the 1988 Saban logo. They had a new one after
Revamp.
that. Yeah. There's also errors in this episode. Your favorite, Daniel Hydro Hog, refers to the Aquitar Rangers as aliens, despite being on the same
On the
planet.
same planet.
So
Well, I feel like Hydra Hog might have came from somewhere else and just sucked up all their water.
Oh, I think so.
And
That's what
especially
I
if they
think.
can suck up water so easily, why are they not dehydrated on their own
On
planet?
their own planet, yeah. So that's the thing.
He's
well,
like,
because
oh,
I
we
think
don't
that
know.
whole planet's water.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
I
lot
mean,
of water
Well, I
from
guess
the
our whole
he
hydrant.
took
planet's
a
water
whole,
too, pretty much.
like,
Oh, that's true.
lake and pool. I don't know.
And part one, Hydro Hog asked Lord Zed what he wants this time, implying that they have previous encounters before the episode. Zed and Rita didn't know who he was until Sestro mentioned him.
Yeah.
Also, in part one, Zordon refers to the Hydro Hog as Zed's latest monster, despite having earlier been told by the Equitians that he was their main enemy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, Zordon has Alpha teleport to the Equitians to Angel Grove Public Pool to rehydrate. However, as the pool contains purifiers and far from being natural water, it would have done little to help them to
Yeah.
be fully restored.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Why didn't they just
strange.
get him bathtub?
Why didn't they just pee on him? I don't understand.
I don't know why we're still talking about that.
It just makes sense.
Joe is
It
like,
just makes sense.
Look, I need to save someone's life. Just let me pee.
It just makes sense.
all he
In
wants.
part two, when Lord Zed and Rita make Hydro Hog grow, the Falcon Zord's cage can be seen in the background.
Oh.
Also,
that.
in part two, when the Shogun Megazord falls towards the shot, the mirror flipped. Evidently, the blue and white Shogun Zords appear on the wrong sides.
Oh.
And upon being restored to his normal age, Rocky doesn't have a mullet.
Yeah.
Rocky should have come back full Mulletron.
Yes.
He really should have. That's why I was like, was that Rocky in
Right,
that suit?
Despite not having becoming a ranger yet, Tanya's teleportation streak was already colored yellow.
They already knew. She had the crystal, so I mean,
know.
it's fine.
So we now know that. Oh, we also have another super chat, by the way.
All right.
This one is from Super Mega Red. He says, number 1, spoilers. Number 2, Zeo may bring VR troopers in ways. I don't know what that means. Spoiler to L. Zeo may bring VR troopers in ways to Alien Rangers could have made disguises when on Earth 3 would have switched the cast for Zeo. This is actually interesting because the 5 Zeo Rangers we have is a completely different team than the original 5 Power Rangers that started the show. So if you think about that, Jason, Zach, Trini, Billy, and Kimberly.
Yeah.
The Zeo team is Rocky, Adam, Tommy, Kat, and Tanya. So it's a whole new 5.
So do they just out Billy, or
You'll
is he,
see
or
how
is
it
he
works
Alpha?
out.
Is he the new Zordon and be like, well, he blew up, so I mean, I've
Billy-
been in command
Billy
for
dies.
a while. No.
Yeah, this is it.
No, he gets married. You're a liar. You're a liar. We've discussed this several times.
She remembers, so you can't get her.
No, this is going to be good, though. I'm excited that we're going to get into this form of storytelling. But
For
Billy,
a second, I was like, no, not Billy.
Billy actually plays a really important part in going forward. But also, you're going to, like I said before, the one thing that I'm excited for you to see is that they do develop the world building, and they the kid Raymond, who's like their computer guy, and he's like this Jewish computer guy. Then they got Sean, the baseball player with like an ego, and then remember that girl Veronica that was like a part of the Angel Girls Club? She
Yeah.
comes back.
Oh, yeah. Like, she was the mean one, though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's like, hey,
And
you
then
don't make enough
she
money.
ends up getting with
Yeah.
Sean, and then like, and Sean and Tanya had a thing, and then Tanya and Adam. It's really really interesting, the character development that they're going through.
So it
And
feels like they're actually going to a school. They have other...
it feels just like the world is getting bigger, and it also kind of sets up that like if anyone were to leave, you can see any one of the other
Filling in for
students
that.
filling in for that. And we're going to talk about that later on down the line because actually, a fun story that we broke on #show, that #show.com, thspowerrangers.com. We actually did an article where Jason David Frank said that exactly, is that they brought in all these other school members just in case anybody did leave the show, that they'd be like, all right, this is going to be the next person.
That is a better way to do it, because obviously
Yeah.
they've like changed the
Right.
Rangers a couple times at this point.
Now
so.
you'll see someone you'll be familiar. It won't be a shock.
You get this girl named Emily that comes in, who's part of like this bad group, but kind of like turns kind of good.
More
There's a
Dark
lot. There's a lot
Rangers.
coming in. Oh, you get remember that Arrowhead payoff from Tommy?
yeah.
You actually get some pretty cool, like the Halloween episode is almost all done in like Adam's dream, but they all do like these old school monster,
Black
like
and white, right?
black and white, like Universal monster
Oh,
things.
I like Frankenstein,
Yeah.
Dracula, Mummy.
It's really good.
Oh, man.
I'm really excited for you to get there. And the cool thing is too, it's completely different than the Japanese Sentai version.
Oh, so they don't really borrow any of those stories?
No,
or-
because the
stories,
the
just
Japanese
footage.
Sentai of O Ranger was more of a militaristic season. This is not that.
Oh, interesting. Because
Yeah.
like their outfits don't even look
Don't
like it
look
would
like
be.
military, yeah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't- why
it
would
looks
I get
more
that
like
from?
an ancient kind of Egyptian with like the scrolling or
Yep.
something like that.
So it's interesting because we will get. This season is very strong, and a lot of people. I would go on to say is that one of my favorite episode story arcs in this whole season. It's called King for a Day.
Oh.
It's a 2-parter. It's one of the best episodes that that this show's done up until this point. And I think a lot of people are going to be excited for that. But you're going to see stronger character development. You're going to see
Like that?
Even with Bulk and Skull.
See, I like that a lot because they are kind of my favorite characters. Like coming into this as a kid, I never really liked them as a kid because I was like, oh, they're the bullies. You're not supposed to like the bullies. Watching as an adult, I'm like, I'm so excited to see them in every single
I
episode.
don't know. I mean, they've grown so much.
Yeah.
Just being from what they were into what they are, and now they're no longer just antagonists for our protagonists. They're like, oh, hey, we're here. We're aides. We help you in moments.
We're gonna be
And-
cops. We're gonna do a good job
Exactly.
to the best of our abilities.
And then they even like them as also, so they're doing a whole
Yeah.
thing where they're like, oh yeah, they supported them when they went to go ahead and be cops. They're supporting them with moving on. So it's like, I like that they're friends now.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, so, and also, we're going to be getting some of the Zeo Rangers on the show to walk us through some of these episodes.
Cool.
So that'll be a lot of
Can't
fun.
wait for that.
It'll be a lot of fun, though, once we get there. But
Man, your new phone case. I like that. You finally swapped it
Well,
out.
imagine
I know, huh?
what the T Public phone case would be once you get the shattered grid one.
Oh, man.
Because I actually designed it
I didn't think
specifically
about
to
that.
size
fit?
it perfectly for a phone case, so it looks great. We also got another super chat by Larry Newbill this time. Zeo time. He's ready for next week.
Yes.
He's geared up for it.
I'm completely ready for next week.
I'm ready for it too. I'm really excited for next week. But concluding, I mean, we're not done yet by any means. But concluding this story arc, Daniel, what are your final thoughts on it?
Honestly, I went in thinking that it wasn't needed. It was a waste. But the ending, honestly, it wasn't needed and it was a waste. I think that we went through all of this just to get to this ending. We could have put this ending attached to probably one of the last episodes prior, and it would have been perfectly fine. We didn't need the Alien Rangers.
What would you have done instead?
I would've
Because you do
taken
need a
that-
transition.
I would have taken that bomb moment, that moment where they were trying to do the bomb thing.
Wait, instead of all
the
of the
first
Alien
time-
Rangers?
Instead of the Alien Rangers, and do it that time when we had that moment at the moment where they were doing it with Vile, it would have worked then. And because of it working, they would have had to go back in time and find the Zeo Crystals, because now everything exploded or something like that.
But how?
Because
Wait.
they had Zeo Crystals.
So who would have fought monsters week to week?
Well, no. What
There
I'm
would have been
saying
no
is they
monsters.
would've-
The season would have
The
been
thing
3
is, the
episodes.
season, no, it
4
wouldn't,
episodes.
wouldn't even have been that. Yeah, it would have just been an ending addition to the ending of the season where it was just like, okay.
So you don't do a
the bomb-
transition. You're just going straight
Well, no,
into
I'm doing
it.
a transition. The bomb explodes. They have the Zeo Crystals there at that moment when the bombs explode. And then Zordon, in a way to go ahead and save them, knew that the bomb was going to explode, sends them all out to go ahead and find the things. But he doesn't get to give them any instructions because everything was blowing up that time. So now you're seeing them as kids probably still.
But my
Or
question-
as adults, still trying to find it.
But my question is, are you doing? Is that how the whole show starts?
No, it's them back in. Once again, this is all still part of a season finale. It'll just be a 3-parter.
But wait,
the
what
bomb
I'm asking
explodes-
is, none of them morph though. There's no actual Power Rangers in the show Power Rangers.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It would just be more of a.
We got another super
study
chat by
developing on
Toku
them,
Kid. He says,
and
"Love
then they
Zeo
come
when
back.
Ninja returns and is dismantled."
I already like
How
that.
dare you? How
I
dare
cannot
you?
wait for that moment.
Wow, you guys just.
But then you get one more time to shine. Like, that'll be your episode. And
Well,
you'll be like,
there is
"Oh,
kind of
no,
like a new
no, no,
ninja
no,
called
no."
Auric in this.
Yeah,
Does he
yeah.
talk
Auric
like
the Conqueror.
Ninja?
I don't think so.
Good.
I don't think so. I don't remember, but I don't think so.
Fine.
I don't know if what you would have done worked.
Really no.
Well, because you have a show called Power Rangers,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have anything having. There's no Power
Well,
Rangers.
what I wanted is just a 3-episode thing, kind of like the first episode. Yeah, you did see a morph, blah blah, but then the bomb explodes. Second episode, that's when they find out that they're all in different places, and we just go to each one of them trying to find something. Third episode, they all come back, they get to morph. They
Well,
get
here's
to
the
fight, and
downside
that's
of
it.
that, though, is that you don't build up
That's one
Billy.
episode without them.
You don't
Yeah, I
build up
don't.
Billy at all.
I don't.
And it makes no sense for his role in Zeo
His
whatsoever.
Zeo later, yeah.
That's the only
true.
downside about that.
Well, then I would change Zeo. There'd be a lot of changes.
What about you? What would you have done?
I don't know. I would have wanted to keep them at their age. And, like, I do like the idea of going to find your heritage, but,
Mm-hmm.
like, maybe find... Because it kind of does seem like the Power Ranger lineage does get passed down to, like, meet their other relative as that Power Ranger and learn something that they learned as working as a team.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you're going to need. And because I passed down this knowledge to you, here's the crystal or whatever.
So the same thing.
So very same thing, but I would want each episode to just not be with monsters, like no B story, but make the story about the Rangers and how they develop, and they're going to learn from this to become better Zeo Rangers or whatever.
I would have done almost the same thing of what they did. The only thing is I wouldn't have made him from a planet called Aquitar. I think I already said this. I would have made him from Eltar.
Yeah.
Because they have the ability to disappear, just like ninjas would.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
think
what
it would
I'm
make a
saying.
lot of sense to bring Eltarian Rangers into this, because that could give you a way to bring up the Gold Ranger.
Hey, we
we also
haven't
got
had
a
a
super
super.
chat. Super Mega Red says,
Again?
where do you think
Woo.
this ranks as a finale? So the first finale
Oh,
was,
what?
technically, it was Oyster Stew from season 1.
That was horrible. That did not feel
I
like a
liked
finale.
Oyster Stew.
It was good, but
It's
as
where
a
Zack gets
finale,
the shield.
Wasn't the finale?
It
Well,
It wasn't
it's
really a
about
finale.
it's about the same as Super Mega Force, or it's about the same as Ninja Steel. But we get in the second season finale. Man, I don't remember what the second season finale was. Was it? It was something lackluster though, wasn't it? Let's see.
I know, what
It's
was
probably
it?
called lackluster. No, I'm playing.
Because
No,
the
no,
season
no, I
finale for
remember.
season 1 should have been them reaffirming that we want to be Power Rangers. And
Oh,
we're
it was
here and-
yeah. Second season was Blue Gone Bad. Another
What was that
lackluster.
one? Which one was that one?
I know. What
It's where
happened?
Billy.
It
It's where
wasn't even
Billy.
an ending.
It's
Became
where
a punk.
no.
He was mean.
It's where there was another billion. Some woman Violet makes like the statue of him.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
middle of the
Oh,
range.
Oh yeah, that's right. We said we wanted to make the Golden
That's the
Billy.
finale.
Oh, that was a finale.
Whoa.
That definitely didn't feel like a finale.
And then we had Rangers in Reverse was the third
that
finale.
was a good finale because we got.
So technically, this is the best finale.
Yes, it is. Dude,
In
we got
technicality.
them coming back and we were like, yay, we're happy about this. But then, bombardier. Everything blew up.
Well, and because it
I
leaves.
don't know. The third one was still pretty good because we have Rita and Zed. They had won. They
They
done
won on
Power
this one,
Rangers,
too.
And yeah, but now they blew up the command center. This one's a little bit better.
I do think this one is better, and it does show the emotion, like you were saying, that Billy has to technology because he's built so much of that
Because
command
Alpha
center.
doesn't do anything on this
well,
show.
Takes a CD,
Everything
put a
is
CD
Alpha
on.
says no, Billy, and Billy's like,
Yeah.
out of my way, Alpha, you gotta protect this thing.
Yeah, but I thought he was gonna try to be like, no, I want to protect the whole thing. Like, don't send us out. I can do
I'm
something.
just gonna jump on this because technology is my only friend.
Yeah, but he didn't go after Alpha. He went after the little console area.
See? All right, so that's so funny because people are in two minds about this because I'll be like, like Mighty Morphin isn't as good as some of the other seasons. People, it's the greatest. But Alien Rangers doesn't count. Blackwing now, he's like, oh, well, this is technically the finale of Mighty Morphin. So which one is it? Is it Mighty Morphin or is it not Mighty Morphin? You can't take the good. You got to take the good with the bad.
It's Mighty Morphin though, but it's just Mighty Morphin Alien
Well, then,
Rangers.
okay, so then-
there's Mighty Morphin.
So
Power
technically,
Rangers, Alien Rangers.
either way, Mighty Morphin technically has the worst season finales in Power Ranger history.
Okay, all right.
No, I kind of like
That's
2
right.
out of the 4.
Which?
Well, if we-
This doesn't count.
Oh, this doesn't count?
Well, then
No.
you liked 1.
I liked 1 out of 3. So,
Which one
is
Alien
that?
Rangers is by far my favorite season because it had the best. It had 1 out of 1.
It's not 50. It's not 70. It's not. My God, that's just low.
Okay, then
low.
Alien Rangers is my
30%.
favorite because that's my favorite season finale. So 1 out of 1.
It is. Alien Rangers is the best season finale.
There
so
you
far.
guys go. And
It
I'm
is.
sorry to
I don't know if it's the
crush-
best season.
No,
I know
not
it
best
is not the
season.
best season,
Not
but it has
best
the best
season,
season.
but it has the
finale.
best season.
I
finale, and
don't
that's amazing.
agree that this is the end of the MMPR era. I feel like the MMPR era ends in Power Rangers in Space. But I think that this era of the Mighty Morphin suits is over. But wait till we get to the new command center. The power chamber is what they
Yes,
call
the
it now.
power chamber.
Oh, cool.
I can't wait for it. There's so many cool things that are going to be happening there.
I'm also curious about Yellow Ranger. Like, do you see through the top vent or the bottom,
On the bottom
vent?
thing.
I always thought
I
that
don't
about her
know.
helmet. Always thought that.
Don't
Like, which
know.
one are you looking through?
Also-
or are your eyes right in the middle? You're like, damn, who constructed
I
this?
also forgot that they call them like
She
Zeo Ranger 1, Zeo Ranger 2, Zeo
Oh,
Ranger 3.
they're numbers instead of colors?
Yeah, because Zeo Ranger 1 has a big oval, so it's 1, and then 2, Zeo Ranger 2.
So
and
Star
then
is
3
5, I
has
guess,
3
yeah.
points, and then 4 has 4 points, and then 5 has 5 points.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
wow.
6, I mean, once we get the gold, but yeah,
Dude.
6, yeah.
Hexagon.
But I'm excited about. I can't wait for us to really start diving deep into this season. And next week we're gonna start off with Power Rangers Zeo. So we finally made it through Mighty Morphin. We've went through many cast members on this show.
Did.
We've went through many cast members on Power Rangers in general. But we're finally at Power Rangers Zeo, which is arguably one of the best seasons that has ever been done.
Wow, I can't wait.
And I know I'm hyping it, but I think it's going to live up to it. I think it will live up to it. So, Daniel, what are you most excited about? Without giving any spoilers away for Elle, what are you most excited about for Power Rangers Zeo?
I'm excited to see how the team is going to work together. I'm excited to see what's in store for the Rangers when it comes to Zordon, Alpha, and their interaction still with the Rangers continuing on.
You?
I'm interested about Tanya. I mean, she's new and we don't know anything about her, so I hope she can fit in. I mean, she left her entire family on a whim.
And they do a callback to that, actually. Like, in one of the episodes, they explain origins with her mom and dad.
Oh, interesting.
They talk about that. They actually dive deep into all of their backstories.
Oh, good.
And you're gonna start learning a lot about these characters in these next like 50 episodes or whatever.
I hope we do. And I know you were mentioning that Rocky becomes kind of a buffoon, so it's like as soon as he turned into human form, he like hits his head already. He's like,
yeah.
He starts very much in the first
He
episode.
turned
yeah.
into a teen right there, and then he gets up and he boom. Ooh.
Yeah,
And I
like
was like, those sulfur. That's
So
sulfur fumes.
talking
It really is that volcano.
talking
did
about
win.
Rocky, Steve, we interviewed Steve Cardenas on that hashtag show. You can check out past interviews where he actually talks about how he wanted to change the character because Jim Carrey was like a big deal at the time.
Oh,
so he
to be
wanted to
like
make
the
him more
comedic.
comedic
Oh,
of
that's
all of
cool.
them. And that's why Steve Cardenas wanted to go in that direction. But it also makes it more relatable because Rocky's character, like, they're not the perfect students. And Rocky's not
boy.
supposed to be. He's you know,
Troubles
he
in
tries to be
school.
like this ladies' man, but at the same time, he's like does bad at school. Like, I like Rocky's like an everyday guy.
And I think that's good for kids to be like, you don't have to be the smartest, the strongest. Like, you just have to be good inside, and you can do good things.
Here's another question I have now that we're done with the Mighty Morphin era. Better leader, Tommy or Jason? Real answer.
Tommy.
It's got to be Tommy.
It is Tommy.
It was always Tommy.
It's a given. It's a
I
given.
think
Sorry,
that,
Johnny. I know you're crying right now.
Well,
It's
here's
Tommy.
the thing about Jason, I really have thought about this, is that I think that just because it's the first doesn't make it the best.
True.
I like Jason's character a lot, but here's a great example of that. Tommy was with Kimberly first, but he ends up with Kat. Which one was a better relationship for Tommy? But and a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Kimberly broke his heart. Well, Jason left the team. So I think at this point now, it's pretty easily to say, and I think you really start seeing it in Zeo. This is Tommy's team. And I love his interaction with Billy because Tommy is technically the leader, but Billy has like leadership abilities as well.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because he showed his, like, usefulness, and he's the one that, like...
Yeah,
did all
chat.
this
Who do
stuff.
you think was currently right now? Who is the better leader in your Power Ranger Mighty Morphin era? Who is it? Tommy or Jason? We have a lot of Tommy so far. Jared Hodges says Tommy.
Yep.
Common Sentai says Tommy. Tommy was gonna put in a tough decision for sure. Toku says, "Elle, you're gonna love it when Zordon fires Rocky."
Zordon's alive? I thought, like... Did
I know. Spoiler alert, Toku. Look at that. Trying to be funny, and he spoils himself. What a moron.
Right.
Super Mega Force
I'm
Red.
actually a little... That's good, though. But also,
Great.
like, no, Zordon, I kind of want a new leader.
Super Mega Force
Well-
or Super Mega Red says felt in MMPR they try to make Rocky like Jason.
But Jason was kind of very stoic and very, like, kind of...
Jacked.
Well, yeah, but, like, I don't know, like, understated versus I feel like I hope Rocky does have a little more character, is a little more goofy and fun.
Most of everybody does agree that Tommy is the better leader.
He
I wouldn't
is.
say Jason was understated. I would just say that his character was underdeveloped. I
But
would
yeah,
say
he
that
was more
than
like,
anything.
I want to do it on my own. I want to do it on my own.
That's what I'm,
Tommy
like,
was
not
always like,
understated.
we are a team. We are a team. I will sacrifice myself for the team. But Jason's like, no, I'll just do it.
No, everything's fine. I'll do it myself. You're like, what, dude? What? Calm
No
down.
sleeves.
Yeah, exactly. What are these? You need to run off in a fight.
It baffles me.
Who had the
who
best
is-
guns?
Who is the
Look at
best
that picture.
second in
Wow.
command? I think that we're gonna
Billy?
go.
Hey, Larry Newbill.
Larry Newbill, Super Chat. Who is the best second in command? I think personally, if you really think about it, best second in command is Billy.
Yep, he's level-headed. He'll always give the best advice. And
100% hands down Billy. In terms of leader, I don't understand how well, I get why people can say Jason, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Why?
Because he's only a leader for like a season. Like,
Right.
not only that, but he got fired as the leader for somebody
yeah.
better while he was still on the show.
Well, he
that
got
is
fired
true.
because he
Out
asked
of
for
nowhere, he did get...
Because he asked for one.
I mean, but even
he should have known. not to ask for one,
forget
man.
about the behind the scenes stuff. Even going forward, if they were like, because that could have been fixed, it wouldn't have mattered,
Right.
because they could have made Tommy the leader whenever, but he was still demoted while he was still a Ranger. When has that ever happened again in Power Rangers?
No.
That is true. Like, out of nowhere, they're, like, secretly working on the White Ranger, and then he comes down from the heavens in all white, and it's like, you're the leader.
And he was
Oh.
like, and Tommy was like,
I
okay,
didn't ask for this. Hey,
look,
Jason,
dude, I didn't ask for this.
I'm not trying to usurp-
Everything's fine. It's all right, Tommy. He walks off with Roy.
A lot of people think Adam could have been the best second in command. I do think it's Tommy, mainly because Adam actually never led a team. I think it's Billy, because Billy did lead a team, and Billy was pretty efficient even without powers. So I
true.
think that, and besides
I
being,
do like Adam, though. I feel like,
like
if
Adam a lot.
if he had the confidence to step up, I feel like
Yeah.
he could potentially
Honestly.
be
well,
a
there
good
was that
second
rumor
command.
that, or at least even if you go back and watch our interview with Johnny Young Bosch, he actually says that he was supposed to be the leader of the Power Rangers once Jason David Frank left. That's why they wanted him to grow out his hair. And I think it would have made a lot of sense.
Oh.
I think it would have made a lot of sense, and I think that would have changed the game up a lot. I think, because then I guess you would assume that Adam would have become the Red Ranger. They would have gotten a new Green Ranger. And when they get to space, it'd been completely different.
Why the hair?
I don't
They
know.
like long hair.
They like long hair for...
And especially when Tommy turned back to adult, the first thing is like, oh, yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And then
But it was
Rocky gets
Rocky's
his
like, oh, it's
Rocky
not
was
there
like,
anymore.
And that's why he hit his head. He was like, "Oh, no mullet!" Oh, I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Shocked, and he jumped up.
He jumped up and he hit his head.
So yeah, there. I guess Jaden does get demoted for Lauren, but it doesn't happen very often. Tommy definitely supersedes Jason being the White Ranger, opposed to Jason's Red Ranger. It does happen.
Well, there you have it. I mean, in so many ways, Tommy definitely was the best leader. If not, Zordon wouldn't have assigned him as the leader. I'm just saying.
Well, Tommy also did carry the show.
Here is your leader. That's what he told him. I mean, it just makes sense.
Tommy also does carry the show. I actually do like this scene too with the Alien Rangers and the Mighty Morphin Rangers at the time, because I like how they're like, we're not going to send Tanya because she doesn't know.
Yeah,
like we have to catch her up.
Yeah.
Let's just send the 5 that you know.
Yeah.
And I really like
And
that
it
because
makes
it makes sense.
Yeah.
See, I actually
Yeah,
think
because it would have been a juxtaposition.
as bad as the Alien Ranger season was, the actual storytelling and the writing to get to where we are, like planted a lot of the seeds for Zeo, made Zeo that much better. So I think that once you start seeing the seeds kind of unravel, and you're like, oh wow, they set that up all the way then, it's actually pretty eye-opening.
And it was a good
the crystals
finale.
themselves. The Zeo Crystals themselves wasn't just a MacGuffin. It was
What happened in season 3 of Mighty Morphin.
Yeah. And season 3 is where they actually, once again, like I said, they grew. They started to figure out that the audience was getting older, so we can do a little bit more things. We can introduce these tropes. We can introduce these
And start
ideas.
like laying the crumbs to
Yes.
like come back and people will remember.
That's it. The Zeo Crystal was the first one where you really got to see it pay off properly. Then they started doing the little ones. Oh, here goes the arrowhead. Here goes this. Here goes that. So we'll see all of that come.
A lot of people are saying that TJ is a great second in command, where I disagree with that because I don't think TJ was ever second in command. I actually think TJ was the leader all the way through space. He might have got a new color, but TJ seemed like he was always the one that was kind of like the level-headed, like, all right, this is what we should be doing. Like, Andrews might have known more because he was in space, but TJ definitely felt like he was the one that was like, we're not going to do that.
So you don't feel that TJ ever had a moment voluntarily stepped down or back just so that Andros could
I don't think so.
recognize
I think that he. I don't think even Andros considers himself the leader.
Okay.
I think Christopher Kamen Lee would.
Oh, yes.
But I don't think Andros would consider himself the leader. I think TJ, I think they all realize that TJ knows the team. He already has worked with the team. He's helping Andros kind of integrate with the team. And I think that Andros might know more of what to do, but TJ is definitely the one that calls the shots on like, this is a good idea, this is a bad idea.
Now, that season, is that space and then Lost Galaxy or just space?
Just space.
Space, right?
Space.
Okay. My favorite season. When we get to it, it's like, wow. I really liked it.
It is a
Really
good
liked
season.
it. Really liked it.
It's a really good season. Actually, once I think Turbo's gonna get weak. You might like it. Who knows? But we're getting a whole crop of new Rangers once we get towards Turbo.
I mean, being on the show makes me hyped for a lot of stuff because I can't wait for, is it RPM? Is a Mad Max kind of like
Oh
season?
yeah, that's like 7 years away though.
Oh dang, I'm super excited for that.
Actually,
7 years.
They'll
We'll
go
get to it
faster.
quicker.
They'll go
We'll
faster
get to
because
it quick.
we do roughly
4
3 episodes a week.
yeah.
I mean, we finished all of Mighty Morphin because I think it started at the very beginning of this year, and now we are done with Mighty Morphin and Alien Rangers, already going into Zeo.
I never thought
Yeah.
never thought I would have
It's
gotten
very
to
true.
Zeo.
It's very true. So, I mean, we're doing well. We'll
Yeah.
get there soon.
Never thought we would
I'm
have gotten
excited.
here. I'm excited as well. We got Zeo coming up. I'm excited for it. Guys, join us next week as we talk about the first 3 episodes of Power Rangers Zeo. I was going to say, it's weird not saying Mighty Morphin.
No.
But we're going to
Zeo.
do a Zeo Beginning 1 and 2 and Shooting Star. Those will be the episodes we're going to be discussing next week. So if you want to watch those to follow along, do so. And like I said before, we have a new shirt. Hit it.
It's so good.
This
God,
is
I love it.
continuing on our Power Ranger movie parody shirts. And that is the Shattered Grid Infinity War shirt. We got another super chat by Derek Kirby. Says, sup crew, popping in to say hello. Hope your Thanksgiving weekend festivities have been blessed. Much love as always. Hashtag Trinity. But that is the Shattered Grid Power Ranger
nice.
shirt. Get that shirt while you can right now. It's going through Cyber Monday. The next 2 days, it's going to be $14. So it definitely is on sale. You can get it right now at our T Public store. We will be releasing another shirt, hopefully every month, if we can keep up to it.
yes.
So hopefully every
you
month.
guys can be styling
Hopefully.
and profiling all the time, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, check that shirt out. If you want to support, all your super chats go to Cosmic Protectors, which is going to be happening this.
And thanks so much.
Yeah.
So it's like Derek Kirby, we had Toku Kid, we had Red, who was it? Red Ranger? I already forgot. And Cyril Moore.
What?
All of our
that's
super
why I love
chats.
Super Chat.
That's, like,
Super
going to
Mega
our-
Red.
Super
Super
Mega
Mega
Red.
Red.
Yes, thank you so much for all your super chats. We really appreciate it. But that's going to do it. For more on everything that we do for Power Ranger related, check out our website, thspowerrangers.com. For everything geek related, check out our website, thathashtagshow.com.
That's right.
You can find both of them on social media at
Battlestar Galactica on Instagram and on Twitter at THS, or no, I'm sorry, that hashtag BSG.
and
I'm Elle Tea on Facebook and Instagram.
And I'm that hashtag Joe on all social media. And if you like Doctor Who, that's also going to be wrapping up pretty soon. They are going to be doing Doctor Who next, where we got Alan
So
Cumming.
fun.
If you don't know who Alan Cumming is, amazing actor. He was a guest on this
Nightcrawler,
episode
man.
of Doctor Who. So check out their Doctor Who discussion, which is going to happen in just about 30 minutes. 15
Right now,
minutes.
5
minutes. In 5 minutes. So you don't have to go too far. So all of you guys that are in this chat, why don't you jump on over for the Doctor Who one, which should be scheduled. We want to see your faces in there right now. That's going to do it for us, guys. Next week, we'll be here with Power Ranger Zeo. But please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending.
And
Geek pop culture.